Let's talk about the role of council in running and leading a city. Council is effectively a board of directors, just as any corporation or nonprofit would have a board of directors. Council has one employee, the city manager, the chief administrative officer. City of Calgary, as a corporation, has 17,000 employees, from lifeguards to senior administrators. Over my 4 years, I have engaged with employees at many levels. Recent post by Rob Ward is misleading and inaccurate, and it's designed to make you mad at the city, as opposed to helping you understand how the city works. Passed by the provincial government, yes, the UCP has made it more difficult for councillors to engage with administration at all levels because they've increased the burden of report back responsibilities. Effectively, the legislation now says that a question from any councillor to administration has to be responded to all members of council within 72 hours. If I ask a question specific to my ward, that response has to go to all of council. Now, of course, that does not make sense in a city the size of Calgary. So as a response, the city is piloting a new dashboard so that the answer is available to all councillors, but isn't coming through on multiple emails a day that are not relevant to many of us because they are focused on someone else's ward-specific issues. I can say that I've already been advocating against the specific legislation change in my current role as councillor and on the board of directors with Alberta municipalities. This has been a detrimental change to all cities. Now, anything citywide related has always come to all of council. Already will continue to do so. We regularly receive briefing notes, memos, emails, you name it. Which has always been to educate on how decisions are made and the processes that we go through, and where those processes aren't working, the role of council is to first understand and then suggest the changes. Let's get into the matter of employees who are not senior level being able to talk to council. That's what Rob seems to be disgusted with. Let me remind you that council is a board of directors. Could you imagine in a corporation like Co-op or Enbridge that an administrative assistant or the produce stocker were emailing the board of directors? I think we can all see why that's problematic. I can tell you that in the last 4 years, though, that if I did need to speak to a specific employee, let's say a file manager on a development application, I was able to do that. If I need to talk to one of my community association liaisons, I'm able to do that. That has not and will not change. And staff assigned to work on specific files that we're working on, we do and will continue to speak with them. But the team fixing our sewers should not be emailing councillors with their concerns about operations. They should be messaging their managers. This is an example of faux outrage designed to make the public angry at the corporation, where the real truth is the candidate doesn't understand the primary responsibilities and boundaries for the role they're applying for. And what's even more egregious about this is the candidate is part of a party with active sitting councillors who know the rules are should and are continuing themselves to perpetuate this outrage. City employees are spread out across many sites of the city. And if I see city workers out and about, I stop, I say hello, I introduce myself, and I thank them for their work and for their service to the city. And I can promise that if reelected, I'm not going to rage bait you with stuff like this. I will continue to provide education on city processes, on the decisions that we are making, and on the work that I am doing to move the city forward.